Hey everyone, welcome to Daily Dollars. Today's story is making waves in Washington and beyond. At the center of the storm is the Social Security Administration, data privacy, and a controversial new government agency led by Elon Musk. A federal judge in Baltimore has just handed down a ruling that could have wide-reaching consequences for how your personal information is handled by federal agencies. The Department of Government Efficiency is now facing serious legal pushback over its aggressive push to access sensitive Social Security data. So, what exactly is going on? Why is this case drawing so much attention? And what could it mean for millions of Americans who rely on Social Security? We're breaking it all down, but first, tap that like button and hit subscribe for more Social Security updates. Alright, let's get started. United States District Judge Ellen Hollander has issued a preliminary injunction that temporarily blocks DOGE from accessing Social Security data that contains personal, non-anonymized information. This ruling expands on an earlier temporary restraining order she issued, but now the boundaries are even clearer. According to the judge, DOGE and its staff must immediately purge any personal Social Security data obtained since January 20. They're also prohibited from altering or accessing any SSA software or internal code, and must remove anything they may have already installed. Access is only permitted if the data is fully anonymized, stripped of any personally identifiable information, and even then, only after DOGE employees complete background checks and specialized training. In her opinion, Judge Hollander acknowledged that the mission to fight fraud, waste, and mismanagement is valid and worthy of public support. However, she argued that the methods DOGE is using pose serious privacy concerns and risk undermining long-standing norms about data protection within federal agencies. For nearly 90 years, the Social Security Administration has operated under a fundamental principle that the private information it holds from medical records to mental health evaluations to income histories must be protected. This case has exposed what the judge called a wide fissure in that foundation. During a recent court hearing in Baltimore, Judge Hollander pressed government attorneys on why DOGE needs seemingly unfettered access to such sensitive data in order to combat fraud. She questioned whether anonymized data could serve the same function, at least during the initial stages of investigation. The Justice Department responds that anonymizing that data would be extremely burdensome. Government attorneys claim that the access DOGE is seeking isn't all that different from standard agency audits. But attorneys for the plaintiffs disagreed. They described the approach of DOGE as a sea change in federal data policy, pointing to how it includes access to deeply personal records, including those of children, disabled individuals, and others who may be vulnerable to stigma or harm if their data is mishandled. Outside the courtroom, the ruling sparked a wave of protest. Union members and retirees gathered to voice their opposition, arguing that the broad data collection efforts by DOGE are not only intrusive, but could jeopardize the very integrity of the Social Security system. And the political pressure is mounting. The Social Security Administration has faced internal turmoil since the Trump administration's push to expand the power of DOGE. Earlier this year, Michelle King, then the acting commissioner, stepped down after reportedly refusing to comply with the demands of DOGE. She was replaced by Leland Dudek, a figure now facing growing calls for resignation. Judge Hollander had asked Dudek to appear in court to answer questions about these actions. He didn't show up. Dudek previously threatened to suspend SSA operations or withhold benefit payments in response to her restraining order. The judge later called these actions inappropriate. Even more controversially, Dudek signed an order requiring newborns in Maine to be registered for Social Security numbers at federal offices, not hospitals, a move that was quickly reversed and widely viewed as political retaliation against Maine's Democratic governor, Janet Mills. Although Judge Hollander's ruling is firm, it may not be the final word. The injunction could be appealed to the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has previously sided with the Trump administration in similar DOGE-related cases. That includes recent decisions involving other agencies like the Department of Education, the Treasury, and the Office of Personnel Management. These cases collectively point to a growing legal and ideological divide on how far government efficiency efforts should be allowed to go when it comes to collecting and analyzing personal data. And at what point does efficiency begin to threaten civil liberties? Judge Hollander made clear that her order doesn't apply to regular Social Security Administration employees, only DOGE staff and those acting under its directives. She emphasized that any DOGE-related personnel must be held to the same standards as SSA employees when it comes to handling sensitive data, including training, vetting, and accountability. This story is far from over. As government agencies navigate the line between modernization and overreach, legal battles like this one could reshape how your data and your dollars are protected in the years ahead. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you believe federal agencies should have full access to personal records in the name of fighting fraud? Or do you think privacy should always come first, even if it slows down reform? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Daily Dollars, and hit the bell so you never miss Social Security updates. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.